Okay, so today we're going to continue solving equations, but instead of writing the explanation, I'm going to kind of show the work through in my table of what I did. So starting with my original equation, I have 7x minus 9 plus negative 2x is equal to 12 minus x minus 3. First thing I'm going to do is flip. How that changes things is this minus is going to become plus negative because I had 9 unit tiles on the bottom and I flipped them up top, so plus negative 9. This x minus x becomes plus negative x, minus 3 becomes plus negative 3. Okay, so that's how I know that I flipped. Once I flipped, then I'm going to combine my like terms. So when I go to my left side, I can add those 7x tiles and those negative 2x tiles and make 0 pairs and get 5x plus negative 9. And on the right side, I can add that 12 and negative 3, add those together, and that's going to be 9 plus negative x. So now I'm at the point where I have 2 terms on the left side, 2 terms on the right side. So I have 2 x's, or I have x's and unit tiles on the left, x's and unit tiles on the right. I need to get all those x's on one side and all the unit tiles on the other. So I start by moving my x's. I like positive x's, so I'm going to get rid of this negative x by adding an x to each side. That's I'm adding a balanced set, and I get 6x plus negative 9 is equal to 9. And now I have my x tiles all on one side, but I need to move these negative 9 unit tiles to the other side. So I do that by making 0 pairs. So I'm going to add 9. So I have 9 0 pairs. If I add 9 to the left side, I have to add 9 to the right side. And then I have 6 x tiles on my left side. And now I have 18 unit tiles on my right side. So I'm going to then divide by 6 because I want to know what each one of those x tiles is worth. I've isolated them, but now I want to know what one x tile is worth. So I divide by 6 and divide 18 by 6. I get x is equal to 3. So there's one answer that makes this equation true, that makes both those, the expression from the left side equal the expression from the right side, and that's when x is equal to 3. All right, to show you actually doing it, I built 6 minus x is equal to 2x minus 2 plus x. They're in my table. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to flip. So I'm going to put that, that positive x on the bottom becomes a negative x on top. And the 2 positive units on the bottom becomes a negative 2 on the top. So when I type here, I have 6 plus negative x. That's how that changed on this side. And on this side, I get 2x. That stays the same. Plus negative 2 plus x, okay? So I can't really make any 0 pairs, but I definitely can combine like terms. So on the right side, I wrote those x's separately. So I'm going to write them together as 3x plus negative 2. And the left side doesn't actually change. I still have 6 plus negative x. And now I want to, and if you look here, I'm following the same steps I had flip, then combine like terms. So now I'm going to add balanced sets. I want to get rid of that x, and I do that by adding an x to each side. And I show that here by adding an x. And here by adding an x. So that gets rid of the negative x and the x. So on the left side, I only have 6 unit tiles left. And on the right side, I have 4x plus negative 2. So that made a 0 pair here. I'm going to get rid of that. Now I have to add balanced sets to get rid of those negative 2s. So I'm going to add 2 to this side. And I'm going to add 2 to this side. So when I show that by adding 2 and adding 2, because they're just unit tiles. And that makes 2 0 pairs here. So I'm going to get rid of those. And that was the whole point of doing it. So now on the right side, I have 4 x's. And on the right side, I have 8. And last thing I need to do is divide both sides by 4. So I'm going to divide this by 4. And I'm going to divide this by 4. And I get x is equal to 2. So there's one solution, one value that makes that true, and that would be x is equal to 2.